Sikorski's Thinkabouts, and I'm your host, Laura Sikorski. My guests and I share our operations and technology expertise to help you provide outstanding customer service and customer experiences. Today, our guest is via Skype, and she is Nancy Friedman, and she's coming to us from St. Louis, Missouri. Now, Nancy and I met probably 30 many years ago, and at some point we lost connection, but thanks to the world of technology and LinkedIn and Twitter, we were able to reconnect. Nancy is the president and founder of Telephone Doctor Customer Service Training, and she is an expert in the field of service, communications, and sales. She has a love affair with the telephone. It began a long time ago, and it morphed into the 6 touch points of communications, which we're going to hear about a little bit later in the show. We all know, and we all think we know, that the phone remains one of the, and if not the, strongest method of communication. In her bio, she said, but we can always exclude the first one, which was the Pony Express. She has worked in call centers, large and small, across the country, improving their communication with their customers. She's written 8 books. She's a sought-after speaker, and most recently was named to the Meetings and Conventions 2015 National List of Favorite Speakers. And with that, I just want to highlight one of her books. She was kind enough to send it to me, and it's the 50 Little Tips That Make a Big Difference. So I'm just going to fan it, and I'm going to just do this, and we'll see what tip 27 is. This is a good one. Never roll your eyes at a customer, coworker, or family behind their back. They do have eyes in the back of their head. So that was really quite perfect for me to fan too. So thank you so much, Nancy, for taking the time out of your day today and sharing your expertise with our audience.
You know, we on this side of the fence love to do that. So let's move on, because I believe in what you're doing, and the more we can share, the more we can get to the great. By the way, there's 9 books, and this is the new one. It's coming out in probably January, and you can see what it says.
Yeah, customer service finally defined. Excellent.
So that'll be on shortly. You're getting, I think, what they call a sneak preview.
Oh.
Nobody's seen this cover before.
It's a fun cover. Excellent. Looking forward to it. So now it's 9 books, folks.
Yeah.
So, you've...
Bottom line, you go ask the questions and I'll answer.
Okay. Well, you've been in the customer service arena probably as long as I have.
Does not make us old. Does not make us old.
No. We're just happy people. In your opinion, what do you think has changed in customer service?
Yeah, I love to start with that question because my mother raised me on the following statement, Laura, and that is, Nancy, there's very little new, just new people doing it. And that mantra has kept my feet on the ground and my head's out of the clouds, because everybody thinks they invented something. And you and I know that, even when your kids tell you a joke, you heard it when you were in 3rd grade, now they're in 3rd grade.
Right.
But to them, it's new. And so when you keep that in mind, there's very little new, just new people doing it, you get really grounded. Now, yes, there's new technology, but in customer service, I would say 80% of the people that bring me into their corporations or franchise, 80% of the people that bring me in say to me, I want the basics. I want them to go back to the basics. So what's new? As I say, very little, but there are new people coming along doing it. My opinion, the training in the companies is not where it should be, but that, I'm looking at that not necessarily selfishly. It's just when I talk to people and I say, tell me what you've got now, and they say, well, it's on the job, or it's this or that. Well, that's not training. So bottom line, yes, there's a lot of new technology, and we can cover that in the 6 touch points, but all the things we've learned, all the things your mother taught you, all the things that are coming along from me and the other experts in the world, they've been around for a long time.
You're so right. And many times we talk about, with other guests, you have to go back to the basics. There is nothing else. What is your value? What is your mantra? What do you want to provide to your customers? And you have to use your standard procedures. You have to use... It's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. It's plain old common sense. And that's what our website says. We're selling common sense. But you and I know it's not that common out there. Now, there again, I mean, there's probably every speaker in the world says that. But the bottom line is we're all right. It's just common sense. Why doesn't everybody have it? Well, if everybody has it, then we wouldn't be in business. So it's okay that everybody
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about these wonderful 6 points of communication.
Right. We had a wonderful video called The 6 Touch Points of Communication. And I made it rhyme so your viewers can learn them easily. Email, voicemail, snail mail, phone, fax, and of course face-to-face. So those are 6 ways, and I'll repeat them. Email, voicemail, snail mail, phone, fax, face-to-face. Those are the 6 ways we channel our communication skills. Now, what did I leave out? What did I leave out? And there's always one hand that goes, texting, we can text people. Yeah, you can, but I don't believe, and at least our surveys don't show, and somebody can prove me wrong, but I don't believe texting is in the mainstream yet. I don't believe if you're going to send a proposal to a client, they'll say, no, will you text me that window proposal?
Yeah, obviously not.
Now, obviously somebody might, I just wrote a blog today on always, never, I'm sure, and I'm positive. Those are carved in stone words that are not healthy. So obviously somebody can, every once in a while, say, you know what, the only way I want to get this is text. Then do it. But it's not in our main. And so you've got all the social media, which I'm going to stay away from right now. But again, all the techniques that Telephone Doctor has garnered in through the last 30 years, all the techniques go into all the social media, goes into all the 6 touch points of communication. So it doesn't matter how you connect with somebody, it matters what you say to somebody.
Right, how you do it, what it's,
right.
And we all know that email is the most difficult to give your personality. So I always say to my customers, be very careful when you email and the words you use,
right.
because they are very easily misinterpreted.
Right, but it isn't that difficult if you get away from enclosed or attached herewith.
Right.
If you can just email like we talk and just use contractions and have a little smiley face and make your emails shorter, then you can get your personality across.
Right.
So
No.
you and I know that, but so many people use these lawyer-esque forms and mentality and lines and words, and that does not show your personality.
And they do it.
My son-in-law is one.
Oh, and they do it in paragraphs. So basically what we're saying, guys, out there, when you're doing emails, forget the really long paragraphs, a sentence, carriage return, and then we go on.
And the other thing that is key to remember is that emails preferably should be the size of your screen. You should be able to see your signature in a perfect email. So if you have something that needs to be said or a lot to say, use an attachment, because what we're seeing now, and you and I know it, email, the iPod, the iPhone, there's so many tablets, there's so many ways we can get our information now, and just watch how people delete on the airports or the airplanes.
Exactly.
So if your message isn't clear and concise within 2 or 3 lines, you lose it.
That's true. There are, we just said that the email is the biggest basic frustration for everyone. What are the other 3 frustrations of the public? What should...
The first frustration, I'm hearing feedback. Is that okay? The first frustration we found out many years ago, and it still holds true. We're just not friendly enough. Guests should be treated as a welcome guest when they call or come into an organization. And as you and I well know, sometimes we're treated like an annoyance or a bother. So it boils down to that same old. The smiling is another critical frustration. Did you see how that girl served me? She didn't crack a smile once. So yeah, that smile has to be on there. And the Telephone Doctor motto is a phony smile is better than a real frown. So we've lived that for 30 years, and if somebody doesn't believe me, just go watch the runner-up of Miss America. If that's not a funny smile, then I don't know.
That's very funny. That's good.
The third one that really is the frustration is job knowledge. When we call or we walk into some place, we don't want to hear, new. And I think to myself, so that's why you're stupid. You're new. Oh, well, that helps. Okay, I understand. That's good. We'll clear that up right away. So I'm new is not an excuse. So you've got job knowledge, you've got smiling, we're just not friendly enough. And
right.
then, the list of frustrations go on and on.
Sure.
Those are the top 3 from our surveys. Now, somebody else may have a different survey. This is telephone doctor service.
Right. Well, we are at our breaking point for commercials, so we'll be back soon. Yeah, it was fast. So we're going to stop for a short commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900 or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
Welcome back to Sikorski's Think Abouts, and I'm your host, Laura Sikorski. Today our guest is coming from St. Louis, Missouri, and she is Nancy Friedman, president and founder of Telephone Doctor Customer Service Training. And we just talked about the frustration, email frustration, and now we're going to talk about cell phones and voicemail.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah, so, there are 5 frustrating voicemail messages and phrases that you've talked about in the past. Let's talk about them.
Well, what I do with my audience is I got 400, 500, 600 people in the audience, and I say, I will bet everybody right now what's in your wallet, that you have one or more of these frustrating cell phone phrases on your cell phone. So, I never had to pay, let me tell you that. And then I have somebody say, well, everybody's got those. Well, everybody doesn't. I don't. My husband doesn't. The 23 employees that I have probably don't. So everybody is another, carved in stone word that is not good to use. So the first of the cell phone phrases that is ineffective is, hi, I'm not able to answer the phone right now. Well, that's a hot lot of news. I mean, why would you say that? Of course you're not. Your cell phone voicemail answered. So people want to know where you are, not where you're not. So it is semi-useless to say, hi, I'm not here right now. Hi, I'm not available to answer my phone. It is useless. So we don't say it. People want to know where you are, not where you're not. You don't walk up to somebody and say, hey, I'm not here right now. So bottom line, just tell people, if you don't want to say where you are, just say, hi, it's Nancy Friedman. And the second one is, I'm sorry I missed your call.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we go, yes, we missed her. I didn't want to talk to her anyway. So the one that really frustrates them is, your call is very important to me. Because they're thinking, well, then where the heck are you?
Absolutely on that one.
Useless statements. You don't need those 3. Now, the next one you're going to say, well, Nancy, don't be that. Everybody's got that on that. And that is when you say, please go ahead and leave your name and number, and I will return your call. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, it's really, what people say is, and I will return your call as soon as possible. Well, what's wrong with that, Nancy? Well, what's wrong with that is, your as soon as possible is different from my as soon as possible is different from their. So you'll never exceed anybody's expectations with as soon as possible. It is useless. The statement needs to be, and I will return your call.
Right, simple.
And the subject, that's all you need. You never want to put every call, return all my calls in 24 hours. I'll return your call the next working business day. That's okay. But it's frustrating to people who call on Friday, know they got to wait till Monday, so it's just useless. The last one isn't really a phrase, but it is a frustration when a caller calls you and they don't have a second or third option, find you. In other words, my belief says, go ahead and leave your name and number and I will return your call. If you need immediate, try the office at 800-882-9911 or email Nancy at telephone doctor, that's all one word spelled out, telephonedoctor.com. So they've got 2 other places if they don't want to leave a voicemail. So you've got 5 phrases that people have on their cell phones that are useless. Now, in defense of that, who wrote those? Who wrote those useless phrases? Engineers who created the phone. And I don't know about you, but engineers are great people. They're lovely people, but they're not personality writing people.
Right.
So, a lot of people, Laura, and I'm sorry, well, maybe not now, but years ago, people didn't know, oh my gosh, I can change that recording?
Right.
In my office, even the automated attendants say that. That's all changeable.
Right.
That's all changeable.
Right.
And I am amazed at the number of clients that don't realize or even don't take the time.
I know. One of the things that's most frustrating for me is when they say your call is important to us.
Then where are you?
Then where are you? I mean, it just drives you crazy.
We call those useless statements. They're not necessary. You You should re-record them. You don't know how many emails I get after a program and say, oh my, I just changed my email, it was horrible, or my voicemail was horrible.
Right. And I'm hoping that all of you out there will do the same.
Well, bottom line is very few people call and hear their own message.
Right, on how it
So
sounds.
you called yourself.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Right.
So I try to make them aware. But go ahead.
In the land of customer service that we both are in, what's the biggest complaint that you hear from the public?
It boils down to what I said before. We're just not friendly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly becomes, and we've got a saying called business friendly, because you got to be business friendly.
Yeah.
And people come to work, they're in a bad mood. People come to work, they had a fight with their spouse. People come to work, they're just unhappy. They got a bad attitude. So all these things are what the public is saying, you know what, don't take that out on me.
Mm-hmm.
We call that emotional leakage, getting mad at Peter and taking it out on Paul. It's not right, it's not fair, it's no fun. To take a negative thought out on somebody who's not involved, how rude can we get?
Yeah.
So the number one frustration is we're just not friendly enough. We gotta have automatic doors. And you walk into a place, and all of a sudden everybody's saying, hey, good to see you. You're not hi, how are you? Hi, how are you is useless. Useless.
Right.
I don't use it anymore. Somebody says, hi, how are you? I go, you look great. I don't return the hi, how are you, fine, how are you, goodbye. There's nothing done there. So.
And it's true. I mean, so many of us use these phrases over the years, and we forget that, you got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah,
but I certainly agree about the friendliness and being more positive. Especially, when you're in a call center, and we all know those folks, those kids are just, phone after phone.
And you raise a good point. You raise such a good point, especially in a call center. And it's the Yul Brynner story. He was interviewed a while back. I always say before he died. Well, of course before he died. But anyway, he was interviewed, and the reporter asked him, Mr. Brenner, you sing the same words, the same song, and the same music to the same person night after night after night, 9 times a week, and you never lose your enthusiasm. How do you do it, Mr. Brenner? And without missing a beat, he said, it's always a different audience. It's always a different audience. So unless it's the same little old lady calling you back 150 times, it's always a different audience. And our programs, are trained to show people that, it gets hard to say the same thing over and over again. It does.
It is.
I do the same thing. But rarely is it the same person I'm talking to over and over
Right.
again. So if I had just done 4 interviews in front of you, you think, oh, Laura, this is so boring. Oh, my God.
Right.
It's the same enthusiastic demeanor that I want everybody to see.
And it's always in your voice. Your voice is going to tell your caller, your person coming into the store.
And how does that happen? It happens with a smile.
Absolutely.
We know that's true. We know that if I sat here and just did this interview like this, it would not have.
No, it would have no impact at all.
No impact.
No.
So, but I love what I do, so it's easy for me to do.
Yeah, we're both of the same genre.
My gosh, yes.
And believe it or not, we're almost out of time. So I would like to end with, this whole world of social media and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the Instagram. What's your opinion on that?
Well, it's here to stay. So that, there's an old saying, embrace change and accept it. For people to complain about it is useless. Just like it is the way the traffic's going. It's useless traffic's going to go that way. That's how it goes. So accept it and embrace it. What I don't like are people who take the time to bash somebody online, to bash a review. Our motto is spank them with your wallet. Just don't go there anymore.
Right.
Don't be the kind of person that writes a review that's bad, because I don't want to use a carved in word stone, but I'm pretty sure that if you went to dinner last night and you did your review 24 hours later, you could not remember 100% of what happened. You could not remember 100% of what she said, he said, he did, I did. And so the reviews are done with, bad online reviews are usually done from people who say, well, I'm going to say that they make stuff up and they embellish it.
Yeah. And I find that if you don't have, truly, everybody wants good advice. If something was terribly wrong and it's a repeat. But you don't use social media to do that. I don't think it's right.
I don't want to, to me that's bullying. And who is agreeing with bullying today.
Right.
That you don't agree with it. People go spending millions of dollars on showing the kids how not to bully. Well, this is growing up bullying.
Yes.
Don't go there.
Right.
Well, that's your opinion, okay? So we went on a cruise, and 50% were fabulous, and 50% were terrible. And I said to my husband, I'm not going to go with this. I'm
Right.
going to go with people I've spoken to who've been there. I don't want them to leave even 100,000 people that I've never met, who might be 100,000 weirdos, for all I know. I'd rather take the best and the worst of what my close friends say and go with it.
Right.
So smack it with your wallet. That's my best.
Yeah, just don't come
Don't
back.
go there.
That's
Don't
it.
aggravate yourself.
Right. Well, Nancy, it has been a fabulous interview. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And to all of you out there, Nancy's website is www.nancyfriedman.com. And her LinkedIn is Nancy Friedman Speaker. Twitter, believe it or not, is @telephonedoctor. And certainly to reach, email Nancy, it's nancy@telephonedoctor.com. And her
Doctor spelled out.
Right, doctor is spelled out. And her phone is 314-291-1012. And certainly Amazon.com for your books, correct?
Yes, most of them, they're there. I guess most of them are right. Yeah.
Okay, but they're also...
The new one will be out, and I thank you for everything. You look terrific. And
Thanks.
When I get to New York, you got a lunch. And for those of us, I do love to link in with people. So if there's anybody linking out there saying, I saw you, Laura, and watch what you get. Watch what you get.
Right. So
God bless.
I want to thank Sam, our videographer. She did another great job. And certainly to reach me, it's laurasikorski.com and via Twitter @LauraSikorsky and cell 631-624-6650. And always we want to thank Karen Murphy-Carroll, founder and CEO of Blue Chip Marketing, The Daily Blue, which is our network here, and Blueprint Magazine. She can be reached at 631-761-9223. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for clicking in, and have a perfect rest of the day.